I'm Daryl with Optima Batteries. Today we're going to install an Optima QUAD20 lithium battery in this 2005 Yamaha Kodiak 450. So in this four-wheel, as it is in most, the battery is located under the seat. To remove the seat, press down and lift up the latch and lift the seat off. So first we'll remove the negative terminal. All these use a 10mm socket to remove. And the positive. And the hold down. The ground cables on this vehicle overhang the battery, making it difficult to get the battery out. So what we're going to do is remove this plastic cover that goes over the harness so that we can move the ground cable out of the way. So I found the easiest way to get a battery out when it's sunk down deep and tight into the battery well is to take your battery terminal hardware, put it back on the terminals, and that gives you something to grab onto, so you can lift the battery out. So today we're replacing the YTX 20L that came out of this four-wheeler. This battery weighs just under 15 pounds. And we're going to replace it with an Optima QUAD20 lithium battery, which weighs just under 4 pounds. And we'll just show what's in the box here. So Optima decal, some information about the PowerLink. This is very important. You'll want to read this. User manual, which has a lot of great information about installation and use of your battery. The battery itself and spacers. Screwdriver for assembling the PowerLink, and then the PowerLink itself. First thing you want to do is, many times your Optima lithium battery will be smaller in some way than the original battery. So you want to start out by comparing and making sure that the length, width, and height of the two batteries are the same. In this case, the batteries are exactly the same size, but if you have a situation where your Optima lithium battery is smaller than the OE battery it's replacing, inside the box is a variety of foam fitment spacers. And what you'll do is trim those and stick them to the battery. There's double-sided adhesive to secure them onto the battery, and build your Optima lithium battery up with those foam fitment spacers so that it's the same size as the battery it's replacing. So first thing you want to do is take the screwdriver that comes with your battery, and if you put it a hole in the side here, you can use that to pop the cover off. This is just a decorative cover. And then you connect PowerLink. You'll want to make sure you install PowerLink. To do that, you just plug it in and then use a screwdriver, the included screwdriver, to tighten it down. And the reason you want to install the PowerLink is it does three different things: charge, control, and communication. If you have an Optima battery charger, you can connect the battery charger to the end of PowerLink. You can use it for controlling your battery by putting the battery into sleep mode during off-season storage, or to activate it at the end of the season. And then it has LEDs. We'll turn it on here. Those LEDs will tell you if the battery is charge status. You can see it blink 3 times fast, green. That's telling you that the battery is now live. And then that intermittent flashing color tells you the state of the charge of the battery. So if it's green, it's nearly fully charged. Solid green means it's fully charged. Amber means it's somewhere in the middle. And if it blinks red, that means your battery needs to be charged. To continue the installation, we're going to put the battery back into sleep mode. That way the terminals will have 0 voltage. And if we should accidentally short the terminals, we won't make any sparks. You could see that the LEDs flashed 3 times, green and amber, as the battery went back into sleep mode. So we'll route the cable to the side and reinstall the decorative cover and continue with installing the battery in this four-wheeler. So something I like to do when I install one of these batteries is I'll take a little piece of the foam from the fitment spacer and stick to that to the back side of the nuts. And what that'll do is it'll keep those nuts in place so they don't want to fall out when you're actually doing the installation. So we'll just drop the battery back into the box here. Much easier than with that 15-pound lead acid battery that we replaced. Move the terminal covers. You can see the nuts are held in place here with the piece of foam that we put on the back side. Then we'll connect the positive terminal first. And the ground. Replace the cover. And finally the battery hold down. You want to route the cable for the PowerLink to make sure that it isn't being pinched by the hold down or doesn't interfere in any way. So what we're going to do is we're going to route the PowerLink onto the rack. PowerLink has a hole through the backside and the curved surface here. So what you can do is you can use a cable tie to just secure the PowerLink onto your handlebars, onto a rack in this case, onto a frame rail. You want it to be out of the way so it's not going to interfere with controls, and you want to make sure, of course, that the cable doesn't get pinched when you're doing your installation. So we'll just, in this case, we already checked it out. The battery won't be pinched. We'll just lay the cable here, put the seat back in place, and snap it in. And then we'll cable tie the PowerLink onto the rack. So the battery is fully installed. We've got the PowerLink cable tied onto the rack for this installation. Turn the key and nothing happens. That's because you may recall when we installed the battery, we put the battery in sleep mode so that if we were to accidentally drop a wrench across the terminals, we wouldn't cause a short. So to turn the battery on, to put it in the active mode, long press the button on PowerLink for 3 seconds, and you'll see the green LED flash 3 times rapidly. That means the battery is now active. You'll also see the an LED flash intermittently. Green means that the battery is nearly fully charged. Amber is partial state of charge. Red means the battery needs to be charged soon. As far as charging, one of the convenient features of the PowerLink also is that on the end is a plug where you can connect an OPTIMA Gen 2 charger that has a lithium charging profile. Whenever charging a lithium battery, you want to use a lithium charger. We, of course, would love for you to use one of our chargers. There are many other battery chargers out there for lithium batteries that will do the job well also. If you're using a charger that isn't an OPTIMA charger, you would just connect the charger to the battery terminals like you would normally with the 2-prong cable plug. The PowerLink does a couple other things that are really useful, so you'll always want to make sure that you install the PowerLink. First of all, if something happens and causes this battery to get deeply discharged, if you leave the lights on, or you're using this quad has a winch. If you're using the winch heavily and something should cause the battery to get deeply discharged, OPTIMA lithium batteries have a built-in jump starter. We call it OPTIMA CPR. What that will do is if the battery starts getting discharged too deeply, it'll disconnect the battery from the vehicle and hold in reserve enough power to still start the vehicle. So if you come to your vehicle, the battery seems to be dead, Again, you just hold the button on PowerLink for 3 seconds. That will reactivate the battery, and that power that is held in reserve in the battery will be enough to start it. The LEDs also, if there should be some kind of a fault, some kind of error, for example, if you have a short circuit, or if maybe there's a over temperature or under temperature fault, the battery management system in this battery will protect against all of those things, and the LED will flash in a sequence to tell you what the fault is. All of the information about those faults, how to use PowerLink, are included in the user manual and also can be found on the Optima Batteries website. And one less step to finish the job, and we're done.